Walter Cronkite was an American television and radio news anchor. He was best known for being the managing editor and anchorman of the CBS Evening News from 1962 to 1981. Cronkite was revered by most as an anchorman without bias. He was honest, calm, and impartial in most things. Because of this reputation, he was known as the most trusted man in America. His signature sign-off,
"Oh, that's the way it is,"
was known and loved by all. Cronkite reported on many historic events, including the bombings in World War II, the Nuremberg trials, Watergate, and Martin Luther King Jr. But two of Walter Cronkite's most moving reports were the Vietnam War.
For it seems now more certain than ever that the bloody experience of Vietnam is to end in a stalemate. But it is increasingly clear to this reporter that the only rational way out then will be to negotiate, not as victors, but as an honorable people who lived up to their pledge to defend democracy and did the best they could.
Walter Cronkite, the man who seemed to be the only real impartial newsman, shared his opinion with America, contradicting the president's assuring words that the war was going well. President Johnson's famous response is still remembered by many today. "If I've lost Cronkite, I've lost Middle America." 33 days later, President Johnson announced he would not run for president again. The JFK assassination.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. Vice President Lyndon Johnson has left the hospital in Dallas, but we do not know to where he has proceeded. Presumably, he will be taking the oath of office shortly and become the 36th President of the United States.
On Friday, November 22, 1963, Walter Cronkite broke the news to America of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. This report, along with Cronkite's report on the moon landing, were one of the few times he lost his composure. Walter Cronkite was born on November 4, 1916, in St. Joseph, Missouri. He was the son of Helen Lana and Dr. Walter Leland Cronkite. His father was a dentist. As a child, Cronkite was fascinated with books, magazines, and the newspaper. He worked for the school newspapers in both middle school and high school. He was raised in Houston, Texas, and attended the University of Texas studying political science until 1935, when he dropped out to work for the Houston Post as a journalist. After a few jobs as a radio announcer, Cronkite landed a job at the United Press in 1939. When the U.S. joined World War II, he was promoted to an overseas war correspondent, covering the European front for United Press. In 1950, he was finally hired as a correspondent for CBS in Washington, D.C. Throughout the 50s, Cronkite hosted the CBS shows You Are There, The Morning Show, and The 20th Century. In 1962, Cronkite obtained the position he would become forever remembered for, anchorman of the CBS Evening News. In 1981, he resigned after 19 years as the show's anchor, but remained in television, working on a number of documentaries for PBS and occasionally serving as a special correspondent for CBS.